Hi all, welcome to my blog, TechUp blog. Today we are going to discuss Python loop statements. So we will see what are different types of loops in Python. First one is for loop, and this for loop is used to execute a block of code, and it repeats through the list, tuple or dictionary or other iterable objects. We will see one by one, and I will explain you what is the actual concept of for loop. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code, and let me paste the program here. Uh, so here we can see that in a string variable we have stored the Python. Okay, and this is a for loop. For loop will execute until this is the index. We can give any index here, and this will execute until all the characters which is present in string variable gets traversed. For example, let me first make the correct indentation. Now it's fine. So first, for s in string, first the index will go to p. It will check if s equal to o. In s we have p, and if p equal to 0, no, this is not correct. So else part will execute, and in else part we will print s. That means we will print p. Now s will move forward. Now s will point to t. Now, what is stored in S? It is stored in T. Is S equal to O? No, because S equal to T. So this will again false, and it will go to S and it will print T. Now S will print to R. Is S equal to O? No. So this statement will not print, and it will print S. That means it will print R. Now S will point to I. Again, the else part will execute. S will go to N. Again, else part will execute, and S will point to G, and again else part will execute. So in this case, every time else part will execute. But let me, if I give here something, some other character, let me give here I. So when S will point to I, then it will print if block, and rest of the case it will print the value where S is pointed to. So let me give here something else. Let me give T. Now execute. So when S will point to T, then it will execute uh, if block. So here you can see when S is pointing to P, then it is printing P, Y, then it is printing Y, and when it is T, because if S equal to T, then this condition will become true and it will print the statement if block. So like this you can see. Now let's go to another program. This is a tuple. What I've written inside the square bracket is a tuple. So we will have separate classes for tuple also. So I will explain more about the tuple. We will have separate classes for tuple also. I will explain more about the tuple in later classes. Now let's first correct the indentation. It is inside for loop, so this statement should be inside this. Now let me open Paint also so that I can explain you better. Now let's go here first. So here we have in numbers, we have stored 3, 5, 23, 6, 5, 1, 2, 9, and 8. And sum underscore is also a variable, it is holding the value as 0. For num in numbers, it will traverse each of these values. First num will point to 3. So it will store 0. In sum underscore, it will store 0 plus num into 2. Num is pointing to 3. 3 into 2, 6. Now the value of sum underscore is equal to 6. Currently it is 6. Now num will point to 5. So here num into 2, 5 into 2, that is 10. 10 will add to 6 because sum underscore value have 6. So 10 plus 6, that is equal to 16. Now it becomes 16. Now num will point to 23 and 23 into 2, that is 46. 46 plus sum underscore has value as 16. So it will add 46. Now 46 plus 16 becomes 62. Okay, so it becomes 60. So now we have another statement for loop. Now let us run this program. So I have copied the program here, and this if statement is inside for loop, and this is inside if, and here it is print. So we have for loop here, string is iterating. Let us give some easy to remember variable name. So I am giving here I, and here also I am giving I, and let us give I also here. Now I will iterate through this. I means this one. I will iterate it will iterate through Python loops. And if I equal to L, then it will break. Break means it will uh, it will go outside of the for loop and it will print the last statement. So until it finds L, it will traverse only. First, I will point to P, and this is not equal to L, so this will not execute. Now, if I will point to Y, this is also not equal to L, so this break will not execute. So same way, I will iterate through each of these characters, and when it point to L, so it will break and it will print the current letter L. Now let us run this statement. So it has print current letter L. Now while loops, let's talk about it. In while loop, it will execute until a specific condition is met. What was in for loop? Well, in for loop, we have predefined condition that this many times we have to run. But in for loop, there is we don't know how many times it will run, but until a certain condition is met, it will run. Now let's run some program and we will understand through the program only. This counter will be inside while. Okay. Now while counter is less than 10, counter will become counter plus 3 and it will print Python loops. And if the condition is not met, then else part will execute. That means it will print the code block inside the else statement. Now we need to give the value first counter equal to 0 also. Otherwise it will not execute. Counter equal to 0 we have given here. Now let us run this statement. Now since first counter is 0, this is less than 10 and counter will become counter plus, that is counter becomes 3. So this is, but condition is true, so it will become Python loops. Counter is now 3, it is less than 10. Up now they will increase counter 6, but it will print Python loops because we have entered it. Now counter is 6 and it is less than 10. Now it become 9, but we have entered the for loop, so it will print Python loops. Counter is 9, it is again less than 10. So it will again print Python loop. So 4 times we have printed. Now counter has become counter, that is 12, which is not less than 10. So it will break this loop and will go to the else condition. And it will print code block inside the else statement. Now try to run some more program. Now let's run this. So you will be able to understand it better. Now like this. So this program, what it will do, it will print find numbers between 1 to 15, that is divided by 5 or by 7. Now initial value of I is 1. I is less than 50. So it will go inside the while loop and it will see if I, this is the modulus. Modulus means it will give remainder. If remainder equal to 0, so I is 1 now, and when we divide by 5, so 1 divided by 5 will remainder will be 1. So this is not equal to 0. Or I divide by 7, this is also not equal to 0 this time. So this will not execute and I will increase. That is, I will become 2 now. Now 2 is less than 50. It will see 2 divided by 5 is equal to 0 or 2 divided by 7 equal to 0. So the both are not true. So it would not execute the if condition and I will become 3 now. Now it will say again I is less than 3, that is 3 is less than I is less than 50, that means 3 is less than 50. It will check here if 3 divided by 5 equal to 0 or 3 divided by 7, they both are not true, so this will not execute and this will increase, that is 4. So same way it will go until 50 and will print the result only if the number is when divided by 5 and remainder equal to 0, or the number when divided by 7 and the remainder equal to 0, then it will print I and with space. So now let's run this program and see what will be the output. So in the same way, every time num will point to 23, 6, 5, 1, 2, and every time it will be added to some underscore. And once it is added, and we will get the final result in some underscore. Let's run this program and see what is the output. So you can see here it will print 774. Now here we can see that we have got these numbers 5, 7, 10, 14. So these are the numbers which are divisible either by 5 or by 7, and it will print after printing the number it is giving a space, and if the condition is not true then it will only increase the I value. So this is a cheat sheet in the TechHub blog, so you can go this site and check all the Python statements I have written here, and if you get any doubts you can post in the comment section. So thank you. I hope you all have liked this video. If you have any doubt, please post in the comment section, and please do like, share and subscribe my channel so that it will get me motivated to create more such videos. Thank you.